Okay, this is the Housing, Health, and Safety meeting, May 8th, 2019. The agenda is the Building Department fee schedule. We looked at this last meeting and unfortunately didn't have a lot of time to go over it. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
These are the fee schedule, or the proposed fee schedules by the Building Department. They wanted to do a straight across the board 30% increase on everybody. I think and this is going to be one of our challenges here, is we're all going to have council, the whole council will have to vote on this. Ms. Stevenson was here last meeting and wanted the full increase for everybody. Mr. Bonsall was here, didn't want any increase. So I think we're just going to have to go pretty much down the middle on some stuff and decide how to do this. So the first one, since our first page is residential, can you give me your thoughts?
Well, my first thoughts was a 30% increase sounds awful much right off the bat, especially for residential. That would be my first thoughts. However, there was some discussion about the last time that we raised these. It's been quite some time. The year is eluding me, but it's been quite some time since a raise has occurred.
Now I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
As far as I know, it's been quite some time since we have raised any fees.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when that was?
Oh, it's been 15 years, I think.
Yeah, so it's been a substantial. So I understand. I understand the need. There was some discussion on maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. So I do understand though where we're at.
So this is what the building department is proposing? Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement that I think 30% is a bit excessive. I don't want to discourage residents from wanting to improve their homes or their properties. So I think that's a bit much. Kind of just comparing real quick.
So it's
I too, I'm in favor of, I want to see people continue to put their money in their houses, raise the value of their homes. And I don't want to give them any deterrent from doing that when it comes to fees.
And I think we both know how hard that is. It's just to even do an improvement on your house.
And every penny counts.
It's very difficult to get involved and expensive, and the price of materials nowadays are skyrocketing when it comes to construction materials. So that's all we've been discussing about all that.
So, for residential, do we want to put that off? Do we want to look at lower amount? Do we want to look at no amount for residential? No increases? How would we like to see this go?
I mean, I'm kind of okay leaving the residential as is, just because I think, our housing stock is older, so improvements are needed a lot, more often than a newer home. And I really just don't want to discourage residents in any way from updating their homes and keeping them current.
I love that answer. That's a great answer, and I agree with you 100%. I really agree with that. However, I do believe, and I'm in this business, so this is something I don't take very lightly at all. I mean, I'm weighing this. I think in discussions that we're having, there are some residential fees that are very low, that require multiple visits. So
we'll get to them later, but we'll get to them. We're going to go through those one by one.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Perfect.
So we'll go through those.
So yeah, as far as, I love that. No, I do not want to, this is something that I believe all three of us don't want to do this. I could probably speak for Mr. Sanford too. We don't want to do this. But you said the last time this was done in 2009? Or,
No,
oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
earlier
No, I'm
than
sorry.
that,
You said
2005 or
you said
something.
16 years.
15, 16 years.
Anyway, it's overdue, and they've addressed that they need some of these raised, and the reason why. So again, I understand where we're at.
Okay.
So
Well, then we will next go to the next page.
Could I just ask a quick question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So no, you're fine. Is the purpose of raising the rates just because we haven't in a long time, or are they in need of?
Yeah, we're not very comparative to the areas around us. They're more around us. And we need to get up to,
Okay.
or try to, get closer to what the areas around us in Cincinnati and all the other areas are doing.
Okay. I was just curious.
Commercial. So I'm looking at the commercial fees. Same question, same thoughts.
So, and just along that line of questioning, is the 30% that would get us, the building department is proposing that would get us closer
Yes.
in line with everyone? Okay.
Yes. Now, for new construction, I have no problem with saying that there needs to be an increase on these.
Yeah, I can see that more than the residential.
Page 2 of proposed, well, both of them. No.
Okay, I see. All right.
I mean, we all have the same answer here. No one wants to raise rates, but seeing the need, I'm not going to. We've met with Mr. Reeves.
Yes.
I've met with Mr. Reeves. I know you have in discussions, and there's a need. There's a need. So I'm not gonna really have any issues with the commercial side of this. If he feels that's something that needs to be done, then I think that's something we should probably do for him, for them, that department.
I agree.
Yeah, like I said, I'm more hesitant with the residential side than I am the commercial, but I can understand that, like you said, with the multiple visits and things, ensuring that the city is not losing lots of money by the multiple visits and things, but making sure that the costs are covered. I can understand that. I can see that.
I'm okay with going with the building department on this one, with the 30%.
Yes, that would be my.
Okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Plans examination fees. I'm looking at these as if this is the price, we don't need to be making money off of these, because it
Right.
goes to the plans examiner. Now, if we were lower than what the plans examiner is charging us, that would be different, but I don't believe we are.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with it. Because I don't want to see us like this, which I don't think that's what the goal here is to become such a stream of revenue or anything. But I do want to ensure that we are covering our costs. So if we're already, if we're able, if they feel our costs are covered with what the current rates are, then I would say leave them as it is.
I'm having, help me out here on this paperwork here. So we're on plan examination fees, and so is there a do you have on here the what they were and what we're proposing the increase is? Do I see that?
What you have to do is look on the 2 pages on that book over on your left.
Okay. Okay.
That will be current,
Okay.
and what you have in front of you is new.
Okay. So commercial based fees.
The increases don't seem to be.
Okay.
I think I see
All
a
right.
mistake
Okay.
on
I
here.
got it now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
No, I don't.
Appreciate that. So even with that,
They
I
don't
mean,
seem to be exorbitant, but
they don't seem like there's a whole lot of increase. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it doesn't look like it's,
You know, you're looking at a $10,000, $10 to $11,000. It'd go from 93 to 121.
yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound excessive. I understand the need for that.
Yeah, even at the top that they have on here, you're talking 25,000 at 177 to 230.
Exactly. And that sounds
So this
perfectly
one's
reasonable.
an either or.
Yeah, I mean, do they? So is it Hamilton County that reviews?
No, it's I can never think of the man's name. No, it's somebody private.
That's right.
It's a private.
Just got to keep in mind that it's been, I believe, 16 years, 15, 16 years since we've even looked at this. So,
Well, I'm okay with raising these because they're
Yes.
they're really
Yes.
insignificant.
yeah, the commercial side I've reviewed, and I'm going to be okay with.
Now we get to the picky ones. Residential accessory structures, including garages, decks, and in-ground pools, was $65. They are suggesting we raise it to $200. I believe it takes. Let me get my notes here. I believe it takes 3 visits by our department, the building department, to do inspections. Let me see.
Now, I do have a question that came up after a meeting that I had. I'm curious if you have to have 2 permits for a pool. Do you have to go through the city of Norwood, obviously, and then a lot of times there are pumps involved with the pool.
Plumbing?
So then there's plumbing too. Yeah, that's even the third. But I'm talking electrical with IBI. So now we're going with 2 different departments.
I will. Mark said I could text him.
Okay. Yeah, great. Take your time. So yeah, my question is, if you have to go to Norwood and pull a permit, then you have to also have some, if you're talking in-ground pool, you also have plumbing, and then you also have electrical. So that could potentially be 3 different permits from IBI and from the city of Norwood, from IBI, and from, is it Hamilton County? What's the plumbing?
I believe it's Hamilton.
That's a separate entity too, right? Yeah. So I have a little question about that before I can approve that.
It's a good one. Okay. Let's just hold off on that because we may have more questions for him.
That's something that came up, and I apologize. I didn't think about
Okay.
that.
No, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
For a residential in-ground pool, it was $30. Find my paperwork here. Hi, Joe. And they want to take it to $150 for a residential in-ground pool. I think that's a 2 visit. No, that might be a 1 visit. 1 to 2 inspections. Joe, we're on page 4 of both of those, or of the one in your right hand.
Right.
And we're looking at the building and structural fees. What you have there is the proposed by the building department. The other sheet there is the current prices or fees.
And you just walked in, so to bring you up to date, we were talking about pools and how many
Pool.
fees, how many permits do you need for a pool? Was that something you need to go to IBI for electric, and then you'd have to obviously go to Norwood to get permission, and then the plumbing too. Is that a third permit on that plumbing? Do you have any info on that? Plumbing is a separate. That's Hamilton County.
No, that's not Hamilton County, is it?
Yeah, we don't have a plumbing inspector.
Inspector, no.
Yeah.
We-
We'll go through these and whatever questions we have. If he doesn't
Okay.
answer, I'll call him.
Okay.
He said he'd be around.
Sure.
So that was his question on the first one, on the in-ground pools. Well,
It's going to be a couple of those, yeah.
well, but it also includes your garages, your decks. So we'll have to see.
The
Okay.
multiple, yeah. I mean, electrical, plumbing. I mean, those are multiple permits.
Yes, for all pools. Let's see what it says. So he said yes for all pools, so that would mean the above ground also.
Well, down
Yes.
below there, though, he's got above ground 150.
Mm-hmm. It was originally 30. The ones on the left and
Yeah, but I
Pencil.
mean,
yeah.
he still has a separate line for above ground pools in the new one there,
Mhm.
or the proposed one, I think.
You said he said yes on
You
that?
do need other permits.
Yes.
But I don't know that we need how big of a concern that is for us.
Okay.
Because we're still talking, when we're on the top one where it says in-ground pools, you're talking other structures also, like garages and decks. You might need them for if there's electrical in your
Any
garage.
type of electrical work that you want inspected,
Mhm.
that's IBI. So that's
Well,
obviously.
currently, we're charging 65. It can take up to 4 inspections for some of these. So we really want to just cover the employees' costs. Or for Mark's time to go out, or whatever inspector goes out.
My question is all 4 of those us?
Excuse me?
All 4 of those visits, are they Norwood Building Department, or are some of those from
No, the 4 would be inspections by our building
our building
department.
department? Well, you obviously you need to cover that. I mean, I understand the need for that.
So that would be all under that $200 fee for, if that's what it goes to,
Mhm.
for a deck or a garage or a gazebo.
That wouldn't include, I don't think that would include IBI or plumbing inspections.
I would not think so.
This would just be.
Because we don't have those inspectors here.
Right. No plumbing permit is required, and he doesn't know what the IBI fee is.
So, all right. So I mean, it sounds a lot. $200 sounds like a lot for a permit for a deck. But let's talk through that. When you get a permit for a deck, you dig your holes. They want to see how deep you are with your holes below the frost. So that's going to be one visit. Then they're going to want to see your band board connected to that home properly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's either going to be the same visit or another visit, assuming it's another visit.
I would think they, not only that man board, but if you have a freestanding deck, they will probably come out after the inspect the holes, and then they would probably come out and inspect the
Framing.
the sub frame, yeah, the frame underneath
inspection.
prior to putting the finish on the top.
And then a final. So I understand.
So are we looking at 200, or do we want to make it a little lower?
What's your thoughts, Mr. Clark?
I think if multiple visits are required, I can see definitely increasing it. I don't know if 200 seems a little steep.
Well, would we want to consider 150, 175?
Maybe 150.
Okay with that. Are you, Joe?
And 150, I mean, that's $50 a trip.
$50 a visit if he does 3 visits.
That's reasonable.
Residential above ground pools, they wanted to go from 30 to 150. Remember. No, same thing. That takes 2 inspections. 1 to 2 inspections, I'm sorry.
Well, we just agreed for 150, so that sounds.
The 1 to 2.
Do we want it cheaper for above ground than in ground?
Well, it's
Obviously.
less
Yeah.
visits.
Yeah. So
Well, he got it at 150. We just put in-ground pools at 150. Give me a price, somebody. 100, 125.
100.
Okay. Residential roofing. Right now, it's only $30. I think the going rate is about 150 on those.
I would think a permit for a new roof would be more than $30, especially if we have to do any type of inspection after that.
Right.
I don't know. Do they inspect roofs to make sure they're installed
They
correctly?
came and
honestly-
inspected the last one I did.
what I hate. I mean, it's hard to speak. I mean, I don't want to say anything on and not give Mr. Reeves what he needs. However, in my experience, you go pull the roofing permit and that's it.
Yeah.
They might drive by and look at it to see if it's done, but I mean, as
Yeah.
far as I know, you go get a permit and man, that's it. There's no inspection. There's no nothing. Now, I could be wrong.
Because I don't know if there's a requirement, like say if you're putting a new roof on, whether you have to put,
He's got
Paper
roofing
underneath
inspections,
it.
2 inspections.
okay.
And I'm sure they were out the last roof I had.
And it's
done.
30 now,
It's 30.
so we double it.
Well,
That's just a
Why
thought.
don't-
Somebody else can.
why don't we at least look at 100? Because I don't think even 150 is outrageous for a roof.
100's fine.
100? Joe, you good with 100?
Go there. I was going to say 75 or 100, but we can discuss that.
Company's going to charge you a fixed rate no matter.
Yeah. I mean,
They're going to charge you a
they're going
rate
to
no
tell
matter
you.
what they end
Yeah,
up
they're going
paying.
to say that they went and pulled a permit. It's a $100 permit fee, whether they
I can
pull it or
tell you
not.
exactly what it is. I was just charged $150, and the permit was $30.
Okay.
So
I think
if
they
you
have
up
theirs-
it to 100, what are those companies going to charge?
Probably 150 still. I think, I would
So-
guess that Cincinnati is 150, I'm not sure, but I would.
So we did 100 for now and think
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, residential retaining wall over 4 feet high. Right now, it's at $30 and they want to go to 100. And I have marked down here 3 inspections for that.
For a retaining wall?
For residential retaining wall over 4 feet high. I think 100 then is reasonable if they're making 3
Yeah.
trips.
I mean, if they're coming out 3 times.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure they come out, well, I know they come out when it's dug, and then they come out and inspect the footer. So,
Okay, commercial tents. Right now, they are 75 for 30 days, and they would like to make it 150. And that is typically 1 inspection.
What's that going to do for Mr. Sanker? When they have to put the tents up here.
for festivals and that.
Yeah, is that going to affect that? Is that
I know there's always an inspection made up there, but I'm not sure if that is included in the inspection, or I know mostly they're inspecting the electric in the past, but they may have been up there for the tents as well. But I know I've been there when they were inspecting the electric.
This is tough. I mean, I hate to
know.
do any of this. This is very hard. I mean, I hate to. Now I'm thinking about charging the church more. It's just
Well, I mean, but we still have a responsibility to cover charges or our time in the city for
Okay.
the
I guess-
employees.
I
The other thing
know.
would be-
It's just hard.
What is a commercial tent? Is a commercial tent used when they're going to have if there was a furniture store and if they're having a tent sale,
Correct.
would that be a commercial tent?
Yes.
Or if anybody's church is having a revival or something, is that a commercial tent just because you're renting it, or you're using it for church purposes, not for commercial purposes? So would that be the definition of a commercial tent be just because you rent it from a company, or if it's used for a commercial purpose, for having a sale, a sidewalk sale?
I don't think it's for using it just for a commercial purpose. Yeah, I know some of the street fairs, some of those who have the big tents where people eat under them, they would get them. They would have to have an inspection.
So if you had Daniel's graduation in the backyard and you rented a tent from Abbey Rents, would you have to have a $150 commercial inspection fee?
I don't think so, but I will call Mark on it
I'm
and
just
text him.
curious.
I don't know.
I
don't know. I wouldn't think so, but I will
I wouldn't
check.
think. Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
And it's a
honestly.
30-day. It's a 30-day
Okay.
thing.
And
It's
so
not
it seems
for 1 day
more
or 2
for
days.
commercial business type applications. And
Okay.
yeah,
I will give him a call or text him when we have all our questions out here instead of continually bugging him. Okay, permanent signs. Right now they're 65 for each sign under 50 square feet, and they want to raise it to 100. That doesn't seem like a major jump.
A sign over 50 square feet. That's a pretty substantial sign, isn't it?
Well, we're going under 50 square feet right
Oh,
now,
under.
and that would be $100.
Up to. Okay.
well, I mean, it's a one-shot fee for the permit for the sign, because if it's a permanent sign, it's a one-shot deal.
One-time fee.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the second one is they raised it to 200. It was 100 and they went to 200 for a sign over 50 square feet, which is pretty big.
Let's see an issue with that.
If we're going to keep it consistent with the other one, I guess we stay at 200. We went from basically the 65 to 100.
Okay. Then we have temporary signs, went from 30 to 50 per sign event for 20 days. That doesn't seem like anything.
It's nothing till you need a sign.
So we will have to ask about the commercial tent. Okay, next we're on residential or new installation of furnace or air conditioner. They didn't have anything before. They just didn't have it listed that I could find it somewhere. But they want it to be $100 for installing a new air conditioner furnace.
I guess we inspect those once they're put in, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
That one, you saw the picture, the one that was invented on that.
Oh
I remember that. But my concern is that They want you, so you're telling me that I have to have $100 permit fee from Norwood, but then I still have to go to Hamilton County and get a permit from Hamilton County. Plumbing is done through Hamilton. I believe that if you want a plumbing inspection, that's done through Hamilton County. That's not done through Norwood, I don't believe. So you need a separate permit for that. So,
Well, you would need electrical for a furnace. You wouldn't need a plumbing permit, would you?
so my concern is I have to go to Norwood, pay $100, and then I have to go to Hamilton County and pay whatever the percentage of the job is. I guess it would probably help if Mark was here.
Well, we can ask him on that one.
Or I'm sorry, Mr. Reeves. I shouldn't be so informal.
What did we do before texting? Okay. These I don't think changed. The ones down here, the plumbing fees, the plumbing contractor registration, the journeyman, and the renewal. Those didn't change. Then we went down to residential fences or driveways. Right now, the fee is $20 and they want to raise it to $50.
I don't know how long it's been at 20, but
I understand that $20 is a minimum fee for a visit to your house by a professional. So, 20 to 50 to some people might sound like a nice jump, but to have a professional come to your home and make sure something's done properly, that doesn't seem unreasonable to me.
Okay. I'm good with 50. Okay, same thing with sidewalks. To do a sidewalk, it's at $10 right now, and they want to raise it to 50.
There's guidelines on those sidewalks. I know that. I mean, I can speak. They want them so deep. They want them so thick. And you have to use special concrete for a sidewalk. It's not just regular concrete.
I mean, I would think if we did raise that, if we ever would enforce our sidewalk code, meaning that it's the responsibility of the homeowners to do that. If we would ever enforce that and go out and spray, I would think I'd be happy with the $10 fee if we were forcing things to happen. If somebody's coming in and voluntarily doing it, sounds kind of goofy, but I just think if we decide we're going to go out and spray paint, replace, which by ordinance you could,
Mm-hmm.
and I would think we wouldn't charge $50 to every person in the neighborhood. If we charge 10 to every person in the neighborhood, I don't know how you would put a stipulation in like that, or if we got to that point, we could put a stipulation in if we decided to do that kind of like waiving the fees for the city yard street sale. If we were doing a citywide sidewalk replacement program and requesting the homeowners to pay for it, we could maybe put another little stipulation in there that residential permit fees will be reduced for this program to $10. Otherwise, it would stay at the 50. So,
Okay. Commercial fences are going from 60 to 100.
That's fine.
And we also have then work that requires a zoning permit of $50. There are certain things apparently the state has deemed, and I don't know what they all are, that you cannot have them get building codes or building code permits, so they're going to do zoning permits instead. And it does say fences, and we have fences up here at 50.
I don't see the zoning. Where's the zoning at?
It's on the very bottom. It's not on the old one. It's something new.
Okay.
Because apparently it just changed. And you can't charge, you can't go by building code and building permits on some items nowadays.
Okay, here we go.
So they put it under zoning.
I found
A fence is one of them, but they do have fences up above there.
So, a zoning permit, can anybody clarify? You have to go to the zoning commission and get approved?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I'll ask him exactly how it works. So we have two things. Fence. I knew the zoning would come up. Certificate of occupancy, that would be for a new business coming in. That would be for the new business to come and get a certificate of occupancy, but plus a permit fee if they're doing work on the space. Right now it's 35, they're going to 50.
It says
And that's
plus.
primarily
Oh.
used for new businesses.
for new businesses and rental certificates, is that?
They don't do rental certificates anymore.
That's what I heard. So, okay, so if I have a business that I want to occupy a building for my business, I need a certificate of occupancy for that building for my business at $50, and then it says plus the permit fees,
If you're doing work on it, you're gonna need a permit fee, a permit.
obviously. But to occupy that building, I would need a certificate of occupancy for my business.
Now, right below it is without a building permit. If there's no work on it at all, you're just going into a building, you're not doing anything, that's the commercial certificate of use and occupancy.
One-time fee, I'm assuming. Okay. Okay, and then I see the one here. I don't want to change the subject, but this one says temporary. This was commercial.
That's
Oh.
if it's a big business and they're not quite done with things yet, but they want to bring in some of their stock and do some training or something, they'll give them a temporary certificate of occupancy for 30 days.
I'm staying away from that one. Somebody else jump in.
I think quite honestly, I think going from 35 to 50 isn't a big deal.
No, I agree.
The other one is 165 to 250. That's almost, yeah. That's a big jump.
What about just 200? So are they, once they get this, are they, applying for a certificate of occupancy, are they coming out and inspecting that property? Or is it just
No, that would be without a building permit. They're not doing anything, they're just changing the use.
Okay, so I think just 200.
200?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. If you guys don't agree with that, I'm not going to fight that. I'm just.
The temporary, for 30 days, they want to take from 110 to 250. That seems a bit
Yeah.
high.
I think so too.
If we're doing 200 on a
Yeah.
permanent or the commercial certificate, saying the temporary would be less than that anyway.
I have to bite my tongue a lot of times.
No.
It's like, why do you have to? If I'm paying for the building and I've got the building and I'm working on the building and then I got to pay you to have the building. To me, it gets a little excessive.
It's the law.
Well, don't mean we have to like it.
I don't like paying any bills. Come on.
What about just like 150 for the 30 day?
I'm good with that.
All right.
We good with that, you guys?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Joe?
Yeah, that's fine. I've written that down anyway. So.
Now this one is a residential change of use or occupancy, and it was 85. That's if you come in and you want to put your house, you have a 2-family, so you're getting charged, or your house is listed as a 2-family. And so you're getting charged for 2 garbage pickups and all of that. And they want to raise it from 85 to 125. I believe as residential, we just keep it 85.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah. We're almost done. Okay. Penalty for work without a permit. It was. It was triple fee of the maximum charge for the permit up to $1,000. They want to change it up to $2,000.
I'm okay with leaving that alone.
Would that penalty go toward the homeowner or like whoever is doing the work?
I would,
Like that guy.
it shouldn't go to the homeowner, but
Right.
they'll figure out a way to put it in there.
I'll bet that's the homeowner's responsibility.
Well, it depends, like when I have work done, if I have a roof put on, it's the roofer's job to go get the permit. And if they don't get the permit, I'm sure they'd be charged. But I think they would turn around and find a way to stick it on your bill.
I think that's a good question, and I'm not gonna. I don't have facts on that, but my gut feeling tells me that it's ignorance is no excuse. That it's your house, you better have a permit. My gut tells me that it's your responsibility, but
I think it.
but I understand.
Unless it's in the contract where you sign it, tell Mr. Contractor
Yeah.
you're required to pull all required permits within the city
I get it.
for this job. But most homeowners, if they're having something done, that's the last thing they're thinking of. I mean, they're trusting the contractor to abide by everything, but it doesn't always happen.
So What's your thought? I mean,
I'm okay leaving it, quite honestly.
I think it needs to stay right where it's at.
I know we had an issue of somebody up the street with a fence, and the contract said, I might be wrong, I'm pretty sure it was the contract said that the owner needed to get the permit, and the owner didn't get it, and it became really ugly. It was because the city then came after him because they put it up, well, there was more to the story, but it can get hairy. Okay, reinspection for work with a permit. That means if they've gone out so many times and you didn't do something right or something else needs checked, how much it's going to cost for each additional time they come out. Right now it's $60. They want to raise it $100. I think 60 is reasonable.
I think 60 is reasonable.
I do too.
I mean, I can tell you, it's hard. It's when you try to do good work, even professionals try to do good professional work, and somebody who does this every day can come out and always find something that you may have missed. So, and a lot of times it's not nobody's fault. It's just missed. So I hate to punish that too much.
So do we want to stick with 60?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. I think so. And now here we go. This works pretty much for commercial. It's inspection outside of normal hours. Now, when you do outside of normal hours, Mark is going to get paid 3 hours overtime regardless. If it takes him 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Right now, it's at $70. That I don't know what Mark makes. They want to change it to $150. And this typically is commercial to do.
Yeah,
To do
I'm
these
personally,
inspections outside of normal hours.
I don't see a reason for it. Well, I'm okay with that because in my line of work, I can wait for business hours for inspections.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't understand the need. Well, I guess I understand it, but I don't encounter that a lot. So I mean, if you got to come in after hours, you're gonna have to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
So are we okay with 150?
Yes.
can see that.
And that's for bleh. That is for permit work. Okay, inspection outside of normal hours, raising it from 60 to 100, and that's for property maintenance standards. And that would be a 2-hour minimum. That means they're getting paid 2 hours overtime.
If you raise the other,
I think that's fine.
For $2 an hour. Okay, revised plans. If you revise your plans after you've had them done, and you bring them back, it's $100 per hour.
so after they've been inspected and
Mhm.
approved, and then
Yes. Presently, they're at 85, and they're changing them to 100.
85 sounds like a lot. An hour, potentially you could be, 2, 3, 4 hours.
But it's per
Add
hour.
up. I mean, I'm not. Anybody else?
I think
I think
85 is
yeah.
reasonable.
I was gonna
I'm
say
good
leave
with
it.
85. It's refunds. If you cancel before the work begins, they're going to give you half of the permit fee back. A minimum of $55. And they want to change that to 100.
well, I would imagine it's kind of based upon if we spent the time to review the plans and spent the time to approve them and pass them on, that, yeah, they're approved, and then, well, we're not gonna do this now, well, we have
We have
We
to
got
pull
time
the
and-
permit, do the paperwork.
We got
You got time. in there.
multiple people's time invested in that, not just the inspectors of the plans, the people, the clerks writing up everything and so,
So that's saying if the permit fee is at least $100.
No. It's saying that half of the permit fee, but the minimum is gonna be 55. So the minimum will be 100 that
Yeah.
the city keeps.
so if you cancel it, it's gonna cost you $100
Oh, okay.
unless your permit fee was $500.
I gotcha.
Then it'd be $250.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's okay. I agree with Mr. Sanker.
So should it go up to 100?
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple people involved in that.
You have the clerk, you have,
Depending on what that would be, yeah, depending on what you come up for the permit would be, you fill the permit out, you hand it to them, they file it, depending on who has to look at it.
well, if you do a $20 permit, you're not gonna get anything back.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, okay, 75, $100, is that what we want? I mean, is that?
I think we
is that
decided
something we need
100.
to Reduce that?
I'll do whatever. I'm just writing.
I'll take the 25, I'm gonna go down to 75. Of course, I'm
No,
just
the
me.
minimum would be 75,
Yes.
but it could be 250, or if it was a $500 permit. I don't know
I
how
mean, if
often
it was
that-
500, I'd be okay with the 100. I'm just thinking about the
No,
guy.
but if it's a residential thing and you decide you're not going to do it, you're not going to go down to cancel your permit unless you got $1,000 invested in a permit for a new house or something.
So then $100 is good with you then?
Well, yeah, but if it's, I don't know how often that happens. you know,
Maybe if you gotta be a
it's
good
a
buddy.
thing. If it doesn't happen but once a year, if it's something, a reoccurring thing, which I don't think it would be.
I'm with you.
75, 100, I mean, we're at 55 now, so.
Give me a number, somebody. I'll write whatever you
Andrew,
guys agree
Mr.
on.
Clark,
I'm good with 100. I mean, but I understand what you're saying.
I tend to agree with Mr. Sanger. Somebody's just not gonna come back. If they pull a permit, I'm just not gonna come back, so.
So what am I writing?
100.
I think the consensus is 100.
Okay, this didn't change. Oh, these are the questionable ones. All right, the planning commission. They were at 300 and they want to go to 500 plus consultants' fees at their billable rate. These we may have to really, I know within the planning commission, $100 to $250. Board of Zoning Appeals, $85 to $150. Property Maintenance Board of Appeals, $70 to $150.
I'm having a hard time finding it again over on the
That's the last page.
on the current.
Yeah.
Last page.
Thank you.
And I will check.
The old one, it was down.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Um,
There it is. I got it. Thank you, sir.
the planning commission, the planning commissions are mostly, I was told, for the commercial. The zoning appeals and property maintenance board of appeals are residential.
Yeah, I would think.
So they want to go from 3 to 5 on commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And 85 to 150 on basically the zoning.
Yeah. I think that's a lot. I wouldn't mind what we have for the zoning appeals and the maintenance board of appeals. I think what they have there is fine.
I'm sorry, you say what?
I think what they have, what the original 85 and 70 is fine.
I agree.
I'd like to hear that, yes. I mean, that's, is there, I mean, what's, I'd like to know what a little more involved in that. I mean, is it, I'd hate for that to, like Mr. Clark said, I'd hate for that to cost us money.
Well,
But I also, I like what you said. We're fine right where it's at. Unless I hear that it's costing us money, then we can consider that.
Well, unless,
it goes before a board, but it's a voluntary board.
yeah.
I don't want to discourage people from bringing things
neither.
forward.
No, but I would say, I don't know what the Property Maintenance Code Appeals Board, I don't know what all that entails, but I would think if we were going to be consistent, I don't know how often anything comes before then if we're going to leave them at 85, I would raise that from 70 to 85. You know, why that is different than any of the other two. But the zoning appeal, I think that 85, I think would, because it's up to the property owner, I believe, to send the notices out, or do we send the notices out? 'Cause
The last time I did it, I sent them out.
If the property owner sends,
Yes.
is responsible for notifying everybody within
Right.
the radius, is one thing, but if we're responsible for that, then paying somebody to look all that up, I think I'm positive now, I haven't been on that in so long, but if the city's looking up and sending the notice to all of the property owners within that area, then maybe, $100 would be in line. But if the property owner is responsible, then if we did them all at 85, maybe we'd,
Well, okay.
So you're saying the property maintenance code appeals, bring that up to 85, and then leave the other ones alone for now.
And I
Thing
will
is-
check. And
What's it, 70? Oh,
but we even have we don't
property
even show
maintenance.
the,
I don't show it.
so
don't show
one
it?
was eliminated off of there, the Norwood Board of Building Appeals. We just have the Board of Zoning Appeals on the new.
oh, you're right, building appeals. Well, that one's 85 also. That was
So-
85.
Yeah, I mean, be okay with having them all the same unless we're responsible for doing the mailing and all the research on the,
What I'll do is, so we're not sitting around here waiting, I will, unless you want me to have Mark come to the meeting, I will go ahead and get these answered, and I'm gonna have to call another meeting about Lime bikes, and I think I can then get all of these answered. I'll actually send him a text so he can do it all in writing for us, or an email, and then he can do it in writing, and I can, if I understand it out, bring it in. And then at the next meeting, which I'm going to be calling in another week over these the line bike contracts, I think we could probably spend maybe 10, 15 minutes just to finish this up. Are we okay with that?
Absolutely.
I really want to get this done. But we do have the 4 questions with the tents, the zoning, and then the commissions. And besides that, I think we're good on everything, which I think we went through a whole lot.
Was we going to find out about did we make a decision on the pools as far as how many IBI and the plumbing and all that?
We
were gonna
did
talk
not make
about
a
that.
decision on that. Wait, you're
So
right.
that's another question
Well,
that we could at least get some in
pretty sure
input.
IBI wouldn't be included in that.
it's not.
Well, it's not included
But
in
it's
ours.
still, it's not just an in-ground pool. We're still talking, it falls under the same things as garages,
Right.
decks, I think we did come
Well,
up with
someone
an
that's
answer,
been in
didn't
that
we?
position, that can just start. I'm not one to shortcut our building department at all.
No.
But just somebody who's had to pull multiple permits in multiple locations, that can add up for a homeowner that's trying to just put a pool in or.
We decided on 150. They wanted 200, we decided on 150.
Okay, all right, okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, because we had to talk about how many times they have to come for a day.
So this is, we basically are going to, we're going to report this to council for their look,
After our
for them
next
to look
meeting,
at.
I
So,
will.
right,
After
right.
we're 100%
But
done.
but let's say that we through further discussion we've discovered something that we didn't really talk about. We can always change or repeal or
Yeah. We can,
amend.
yeah.
So yeah.
And
just-
we have until my next meeting, which will be in the next 2 weeks
Sure.
probably. And so look to see what information
Perfect.
you need then.
Perfect. Nice
Um,
job.
And I think that, I think we're okay there.
Yep.
Any questions for you, Mr. Sanker? We're good?
Nice work.
Mr. Provins, do you have any questions? Thank you much. We're closing the meeting.